Hi, it's been a while. I'm 3 months on T. Let's talk about it. Perhaps you'll be able to tell my voice is crackly wackly as fuck. Like, ho diggity. Shit is going down with these vocal cords. Yeah, it's very exciting though. I don't know how much you can really tell, like, if you compare it to other videos. It's noticeable enough at this point that, like, people have asked me if I have a cold. I've been like, oh my god, your voice sounds voicey, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Pretty sure like my jawline has gotten like a little bit more like jawliney. I was looking through some photos of mine from like pre-T, and I feel like I used to look a lot more like an elf, and I feel like I look less like that, which is kind of cool. You know, it's neither here nor there, but like a cool change. I think my eyebrows have gone a little bit thicker. Like before they were like my dad's and like just super wispy and barely there. And now I feel like they're a little bit more pronounced. Like they look like I have black hair above my eyes, which I did before, but for some reason it was like less like, do I have muscle? Not really, little baby. I worked out a little bit this semester and then I injured myself, and so I haven't been lifting recently, but it's okay. I'm chilling. I do feel like I've gotten like a little bit more though, like in the upper body stuff. Not a whole lot, obviously. Like I don't feel like I've like gotten super buff in like 3 months, but I feel like there's just like I have a bit more meat on this part of my body, which is really cool and very nice. It's hard to tell like how significant the like Latinx stash is. You know, the like, because like I had it before T. I've shaved it a bit more. Like I shave like every 2 weeks or something, bullshit like that. So it's hard to tell. There's some like stuff around, which is fun and friendly and cute and a good time. I think I'm like a little fuzzier in general across the whole bod. Like my shoulders, I feel like just like got like a bit like I feel like I hadn't noticed hair there before until I started T. And maybe that was partially because like packets and shit, you like put them on your shoulders, and so I like looked at my shoulders every day. But I feel like they got a bit hairier. Not like super much, just a little fuzz, just like a little bit. Like I feel like my thighs got like a little hairier, which was nice. I feel like my legs just, I don't know. The hair is like very long and free rangy and like wispy, but it's not like thick, which doesn't really bother me. I'm not super keen on like hair as like a thing. Like it's fine. For a while I was having like hot flashes kind of things. I haven't gotten recently, but I was getting off and on for a little bit where I would just like get very hot. Like I would get like flushed, and that had never really happened to me before. My mom was like, "Oh, it's menopause," and I was like, "Mom, that's not what's happening. I'm on testosterone." I think those are the majority of my physical changes. Got a piercing. That was as a result of testosterone. Just kidding. It wasn't at all. I just did that. Emotionally, I wanted to talk about a few things. So, like, going into the process, both as a result of my own internalized stuff and as a result of, like, people around me, I was really worried that T was gonna turn me into, like, a vastly different person. And, like, I was really worried about the changes happening really quickly and, like, making me into someone I'm not. Basically, like a man. Like, I was afraid of turning into a man. Which, like, sounds stupid. Because, like, everything, like, all of it. It's just stupid. But, like, I was afraid of being, like, super hairy and super smelly. There were a lot of, like, internalized transphobia things in my head where I was like, oh, I'm gonna, like, look like these kinds of, like, weird, like, internalized transphobic images that I had in my head. Just, like, bullshit. But, like, it was in my head, and it's still kind of in my head as I continue to perceive. But, like, this sounds kind of obvious. But it, like, wasn't obvious to me. And I don't know if it's obvious, if it's, like, a thing, actually. But, like, my transition, or whatever you want to call it, I don't really tend to call it a transition, except in a video like this. It's just me, you know? My transition is just like me. existing and like moving through the world. It's not anyone else. Like, it happened exactly how it would happen to me, I guess. And that doesn't really make any sense, but it feels like, you know, like, I kept imagining all of these things that would happen, and like all of these like identity things that would occur. And like, granted, I'm still early on, but like, so far it's just been like all of it is me. It's like, I'm non-binary, I'm super queer and a weirdo, and like kind of a gender alien. I brought all of that to this, you know, and that's gonna stay there regardless of how I present. And like, even as I'm changing and I like feel it and I see it, and like I'm like, oh my god, I look different than I did before, and that's like kind of freaky. Still like me, you know? I don't know if that made any sense. It makes sense to me. That like everything is happening how it would happen to me. That's a thing. Another thing that I've been thinking about a lot, well, there are like a few things. I was having a conversation with someone about this quote, which I forget what it was from, but it had to do with queerness, and it was about how like your insides become your outsides. In a lot of ways, that's what queerness is, and in a lot of ways, that's what I feel like transition is for me. Like, the more that I present this way in a way that is like authentic, what's actually like what I want, the more it's like my desires are visible. What I want for myself become more and more like visible and like palatable to like the people around me. It's kind of scary and makes me feel kind of vulnerable. Once they see it, it's not completely mine anymore, you know? It's just like stuff in the world. Like, once my voice is all the way changed, or not all the way changed, but like significantly lower and low enough that it's like it's got to be more than just a cold. People have to deal with that, and people will deal with that, and they'll respond to me. You know, it's not just in my head. My insides are outsides, you know? So that's kind of like a weird vulnerability thing. And it's also a thing of like, I feel like the more time that I'm on T, the like less intelligible I am, both in the world and also like within the queer community. So like, I don't exist on the sex binary anymore. Like, I didn't really ever, because like the sex binary is kind of bullshit, but like I was never comfortable saying I was female, right? Like, that always felt super weird, and I hated that. And like, your brain is part of like, it's just bullshit. But like, now, one of the defining traits of like theoretically what like scientifically makes like a female person or whatever is like your hormones, and like those in my body are not that of like a female person according to like bullshit science things, right? But also, I still have like the same chromosomes. I still have like body parts that are like associated with femaleness, you know? Then also, like, my secondary sex characteristics are like in fluctuation. Like, my fat is redistributing. So like, I'm not the sex binary is just so fake. And like, I knew that before, but just like realizing that you're not on it is really fucking weird. You just do not exist within this, and that's fucks with my mind sometimes, and also freaks me out, because I feel like the less I can be perceived as like a cis female person, the like less safe I become in a lot of ways. I'm sorry, I'm just fucking with my hair. My hair just looks really wild right now, but it's okay. Right now, most of the time I go, like, if I have to pick a binary bathroom, I'll go in the women's bathroom. And like at the airport, like, they use she pronouns and like all this stuff, you know? Like, in official-fied settings, I like default to female, but now I don't know if I can so easily do that. And I don't know, because I'm in such like a mixed period in my life, I like don't know how people are perceiving me at all. Like, I didn't before, but like before I could be like, okay, nothing's changed. Now things are changing, like my voice is changing, and like my face is changing, and all this stuff. So like, I really don't know how shit's gonna fly there, and that's kind of scary. It's like a weird time. That's some stuff. That's kind of where I'm at, how I'm feeling. This is me. This is 3 months on T. Hope you enjoyed this. Whoever is watching, if it is just me, hello Stevie, or whatever your name is, because who knows what you're up to. Yeah. Goodbye.